Hello, Scorpio. Welcome. This is a timeless reading for whenever you find it for an overall general view for approximately a month's worth of energies. Sometimes I find the messages that come through are focusing on a slightly more focused immediate period of time and sometimes a longer than a month, but that's just giving you just sort of, a general average. I am super excited to have you here today. I hope you're all doing well. We're going to ring my singing bowl, call in our guides, and get into it. Calling in the Heavenly Father, the Holy Spirit, Jesus of Nazareth. Calling in your Earth Star, your inheritance, your Akashic inheritance, and all of the benevolent holy ones from your ancient lineage that want to awaken that inheritance within you and within your activation and your gifting at this time. Okay, so that's nice. That's nice, Scorpio. There's some legacy, some legacy that's here from your ancestors. It's waking up. It's waking up. Oh, yeah. Some of it's really deep. Some of it goes, we're talking like all the way back to ancient Egypt and beyond. For some of you, all the way back to, like, so far back that we're going back to Atlantis, Lemuria. I heard more Lemuria than Atlantis, and beyond, like even like galactic lineages, off-planet lineages. So that's pretty fascinating, Scorpio. All right, so let's get a few cards from the Akashic Tarot. I was guided to use these because we are dealing very much today with the Akashic records in your reading. These readings are really for anyone that really resonates, but specifically they might resonate more with Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. We have here the Queen of Scrolls. This is the, if you look, I have it actually right here. If you look at the Akashic Tarot guidebook, she's on the cover because she's like the queen of the Akashic records. And actually, when I was first lighting my candles today, not for your reading, but I was specifically asked to call in like the mother of the Akashic records, which, that was kind of felt unusual to me, an unusual request. It's very connected to what's getting activated for Scorpio energies this month. A big legacy, Scorpio. It's beautiful. It's stunning. And it's a high, I'm hearing it's a high honor. It's profound. You have a really, really, I even just heard dynasty, like a connection to dynasties and ancient legacies of power, prestige. I'm kind of understanding why this is more important for your reading now. I'm just thinking about some other things I've been processing from my personal meditations. But some of this has been suppressed because of a lot of the dark order that's been on Gaia. Yeah. In more recent times versus in than, in comparison to some of these more ancient, really ancient times that we're referencing. And this is off-planet influences that have been deceiving humanity, manipulating for control, and the extraction of resources and life force. Okay? This has to really awaken and be fully understood first. And this is going to draw in an important role for things you have to share here with this scribe. Now, there's scrolls on both of these cards. So there is a heavy, 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 heavy message that there's a lot of insights awakening for you right now, Scorpio, that you must write down. You must. You must have a pen and paper handy. I'm not saying you can't write these down digitally, but I highly recommend getting a really nice quality journal and some good pens. And when I say good pens, I mean like with like quality ink. Doesn't have to be flashy. To record your thoughts, and I also just heard record your memoirs and mementos. The more you write, the more flow you're going to get in all regards. So with that is a message for someone who's had, more life experience here. And as you start writing things down and you start to connect the dots, things are going to start to make more sense for you. Like, I just heard like years of inheritance. Some of you also in this process have decades worth of things to look over. And maybe that is old memoirs, old photographs that require some sort of a compilation here. So, okay, so I'm getting a strong sense that some of you here are also writing your memoir, writing a book. And the man here that's writing is more elderly in the foreground. I don't know if you can see him there. He is a little bit older. So that's not a message for everyone watching this, but for some of you, you are really, really ramping up to write a memoir, to write like some sort of a biography, and a lot about your lessons learned. So there's kind of, two ways this storyline's kind of playing out here, but they do play into each other. So let's get a few more. What Scorpio need to know? What's coming towards Scorpio? Okay, we've got the Buddha prepares. That's really gorgeous. This is all about going deep within the self, obviously doing extra meditation, grounding, spending time in nature if you can. And with that, we've got caught in the ruins reversed. So you're breaking free from what's been holding you back from reclaiming your power, your life force. like I said, okay, for some of you, like you really do come from a dynasty, your legacy, and you might not be aware of that. Some of you, it's even related to like ancient Asian dynasties. I know that's a really specific message. So it's not going to resonate with all of you. Some of you, it might even be connected to like very high caste in ancient India, like Mughals and things like that. But it's not just those places. I'm even hearing like Icelandic, Nordic countries, and people from very families that had a lot of wealth, a lot of power, a lot of nobility, where there ultimately was like a lot of demonic inception to siphon off of that, to siphon off of those energies, and to siphon from your divine contracts that are in your Akashic records. And this mother of the records energy is coming in to kind of clear away these distortions and to free you. And this is possible because like a lot of these off-planet energies that have been interfering on Gaia and doing all this manipulation are getting knocked off. They're basically getting thrown off planet now because, and a lot of it is Nuburian energies that have fallen. It's like the big untold story of what's going on our earth right now. And it's a big deal. And so this is you like resting and recouping your energy here to take on this scribe position. And you are going to start to remember things from your ancestors as well. It's going to be really important to speak to them. Now, I don't want you to be scared of that. If you are, if some of you feel like that's very pagan, depending on your background and your religion, there is a distortion that it's a negative to receive those insights. And it's your inheritance and your birthright to receive those messages. Okay? It's all about context, right? Because what we're talking about, the kind of ancestral connection we're talking about is it's even it's pre-biblical. We're talking about a very unmanipulated, non-dual continuity of love in the same way that really not that different in all respects to how a lot of other things in nature work like that. Like the great tree in ancient Lemuria was guiding everything else around it, right? And there was like Lemurian grandmothers and elders that were guardians of that tree and guardians of the people. And that is kind of connected to this Akashic Mother energy in a way. But it is not the exact same thing. And Scorpio, like for you right now, there is, I wanted to give you one more example, Scorpio. It's about the big old trees in forests even today, especially in more old growth forests. It's been scientifically proven that through the root systems of the trees, they communicate important information to the newer, younger trees in the forest. And they do this a lot right before, the end of their life, before they die off. And it's kind of, there's something more like that than this sort of idea that you're like going and, you know, speaking to the dead. You're not. You're speaking to the lineage, the living lineage in your Akashic records. Is really the right way of putting it. So it's important to kind of clarify these things because things can be easily misunderstood sometimes, you know? And I don't want them to be. So I love that on the bottom here we've got the Willow card, Two of Forces with the King of Scrolls. So you've got your King and your Queen of Scrolls. There's partnership here. You got a collaboration. This could lead to an important writing collaboration. It could also lead to ultimately having an editor or some sort of agent to assist you with this work, because I feel like this is ultimately going to be a pretty big deal, Scorpio, in the end. Like, this isn't a small thing. And the Willow card is really speaking about absolute harmony and things feeling peaceful and blissful and calm and just like free and flexible. And it's so the opposite of where you have been, right? Where you've been a bit in the dark and a bit stuck and not really knowing entirely which way to go. And your meditations that you've already done and your inner work that you've already done, because I know you've been doing work on yourself, it's already been helping you a lot with this. And probably, you know, whatever writing work or journaling, self-reflecting you've already done has also really been helping with this. But it's going to continue, and it's going to grow, and it's going to elevate. And you might even get inspirations in your meditations for how, you know, in terms of how to move forward, or start to get insights. If you're not already familiar with going into your Akashic records or how to do that, if that is in any way new, which it might be for some of you here, that's something that would be very highly beneficial for you to be exploring at this time. And to be honest, it's something I could, if you wanted to reach out for a personal session, it's something I could give you guidance on because I have a lot of experience with it. And there are other opportunities out there that you can look into as well. So it's definitely, there's definitely resources for you. So it's not a daunting thing to get into. It does require a lot of your energy, but it's, and it's, you know, even if you're already familiar with it, I feel like it's going to require quite a bit of your energy to be doing intensive work with your records here. But that's why it's important to just have a bit of this like rest time right now to get ready for this extensive energy work, and to really be in a really blissful energy to have a really healthy, high energy, high life force, solid foundation to feel good about doing that much work within the records. This is so beautiful. I love this for you, Scorpio. I really love this. Okay, we're gonna get for you a few cards from my newest deck, which I actually don't know if I've used these for any other of the zodiac readings for this round. I may have for one other, but they had definitely carrying a lot of message for the kind of the frontier of the evolutions that we're going through right now collectively. So that's pretty exciting, Scorpio. So you could potentially be either this King of Scrolls or this Queen of Scrolls here. More likely you're holding predominantly the Queen of Scrolls energy, but it could be either one. Just want to clarify that. Okay. So what does Scorpio need to know? My goodness. Wow. Okay. Yeah, and that's important. Okay. So right on top of this Buddha prepares card, which I said was doing this deep meditating and working a lot with a very high frequency, we have here radiating your rainbow light body in service to humanity. And if you know anything about Tibetan Buddhism, you can appreciate just how like amazing it is that these two cards came out together. And like you can't make this kind of thing up because it's very, very central to a Buddhist path of ascension to develop your rainbow light body, so that the idea is that like when you die, you kind of just shrivel and disappear instead of a normal bodily decay. Your body doesn't go through a normal decay experience when a fully attained Buddhist ascends at the end of their life. It's I've never seen this personally, but there are many accounts of it, this happening, and you can find out about it in numerous places. And but for you right now, we're going to get really deep here. Like I said, you're from a really powerful dynasty, right? And I said, did I not say some of them were Asian? I did. Yeah, there's a reason why I said that. Some of them are. And some before this dark order really came in and accepted itself, there was a lot more longevity, and the development of this rainbow light body did a lot for, again, to help heal others, to help elevate others. But you also, in your dynasty, in your lineage, when this was fully developed, were living for, I just heard in some cases, thousands of years, which is insane. So, and they're saying that this is still possible for you in your lineage, which is, again, I don't know. This is like me kind of, I mean, this is insane. It's insane, but it's really, really powerful. Okay, and then with that, it says, wow factor, receive and transmit major cosmic supernovas through your 12-strand DNA. So this is part of this Akashic inheritance that you're receiving. And you can only really receive this through a lot of deep meditation and light language. Actually, come to think of it, I did have to do quite a bit of light language in my daily kind of morning meditation before getting into this reading to activate certain light codes that were Andromedan, Lyran, Arcturian. So usually there's a lot of codes that come through when like DNA codes want to activate within. And I was intentionally preparing, for a couple of readings, including yours, Scorpio. So it was definitely connected to bringing some new light codes for you to activate you here in this reading. If you'd like a personal, private light language activation, you can send me an email. My information will be in the description box, and I can help you with that and give you a lot more insights into the masterpiece that you are here. Wow. Yeah, you're very powerful. So just getting back a little bit, getting back into this caught in the ruins energy and where you have been in the past and where you've been stuck. And where you could still continue to stay stuck if you are not fully conscious of resolving this energy is some person that's just is not meant for you. They're just not meant for you. They have, by having your energy focused on this person or your emotions being attached to this person. It's been keeping you stuck. It says chasing what isn't meant for you, let go and leave it to God. You know, there's a reading I posted on my other channel that I haven't posted yet on this channel. That on the thumbnail it says Nibiru Fallen, New Earth Rises. And I think if anything, just because of your reading alone, Scorpio, I'm going to post it on this channel as well, because it is quite relevant to your reading and the focus of your energies right now. Because for sure there's been some sort of inception of a false twin flame or a manipulation just around, with a lot of witchcraft around a twin flame connection, to, because you're so powerful, because your bloodline and your lineage is so powerful and so connected to these divine feminine, you know, Akashic records of humanity, that just heavy alien, like negative alien agenda, negative alien interference, Nibirian interference has been put on these connections to hook you in, get you stuck on a person, and then keep you all tied up and locked up in this tiny little jail cell, chasing basically the devil for all intensive purposes. And it is showing up next to this King of Scrolls. So for some of you, this was somebody who you thought was like a divine masculine. Now, I don't want to completely shade, I don't want to throw heavy shade on this person right now, because we've got our Queen and our King there of Scrolls, which typically is a pair. But I'm going to say, for some of you, this seemed totally different than what it ended up being. This seemed like a perfect match for a lot of you. And that's why this was so confusing and kept you so stuck. But God is saying not to chase this and to leave it to God. God's got this all handled. It's a powerful message, Scorpio. There is a positive, true, genuine, perfect match for you coming in. And that's why I say I don't want to throw too much shade. It could even be that the person you're ultimately end up with seems almost the exact same in a lot of ways as this other person who was like a trick copy that was everything looked great on the surface, but underneath they were all about siphoning your life force and destroying you. And I'm going to say I've learned recently that the Dark Order, that's how they operate. They're not the evil, dark-looking wizards and witches. And they don't have eyes that look like soulless. Those are the more earthly, pagan type of witches, which still, you know, is not great by any means. But these dark beings are so advanced in what they do that you can't tell. I'm just going to tell you, when they talk in the Bible about with the Antichrist being it's like going to look almost the exact same as the surface as like the true savior. That's not a lie. It's really what it's going to be like, because it's already in another form existed for years now, especially since 2012 with what's been playing out. And the dark ones have been acting like spiritual leaders, and most people, even some quite spiritual people, have not been able to tell the difference. And now it's starting to get revealed and more clear here. And it's a little disturbing and it's a little shocking. So there's a reason why this message is here. Gosh, I hope a lot of people listen to Scorpio's reading. These are some pretty important messages for everybody. Yeah. Okay, what else does Scorpio need to know? So, Lyran speak. Oh, and then on the bottom, your frontal lobe is rewiring for heightened creative flow and potential. This is so amazing. And yeah, just confirmation that a lot of you are carrying this more feminine energy. Because like right there, if you see in her forehead and her frontal lobe, her third eye there is all like lit up and sparkly. And that is very much taking you out of this where your amygdala has been holding memories of trauma that's been sort of dimming you down and blocking you from being able to just be open to new potentials and new consciousness coming in as the earth moves into higher energies and higher frequency. And Lyran communication and energy is very high frequency. And I did mention that I had called in, like I was feeling some Lyran energy and light codes before the reading. So this is great. So yeah, so a lot of meditation right now, Scorpio, is really going to help with this. And you may want to do a little bit of intermittent fasting for like a couple of days when you're feeling called to help with some of this like DNA activation and some of these changes, so that you're not like meditating here and bringing in all this records on a heavy stomach. Whew. Okay, let's get one final set of cards here. This is already kind of long, but I just feel like there needs to be one more card to close out the reading for Scorpio. Before you go, please like the reading. I'm going to say it again later, but I always forget. Please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. It says here, ooh, okay. Sweet romance, floral baths, foot rubs, fragrance, and all. Yeah, so see what I'm saying? Like there is a romance that's on the horizon here that's coming in. That's like with your true perfect match for those of you. And if you are watching this and you're already with somebody here, but I feel like for most of you, you're not. Just gonna be quite frank. Everything is gonna be a very, very sweet elevation or new relationship here coming in very soon. That is, it will be very, very, not in a negative way, but very, very sexy, very tender, very full of gratitude, very harmonious with this Willow card. Woo. And for some of you, again, so this would be for, take it as it resonates, but I just heard, he loves you. So, and when I share a channel message like that, and it comes like he or she, I just have to take it the way I hear it. So for some of you, that may not resonate, but for those of you that do, he loves you. Okay? So that's sweet. And it says on the last card here, awakening to your ancestors, deep, earthy, rooted tribal insights and wisdom. And oh my gosh, okay, I knew. And it says, welcome peace into every area of your life. Buddha bliss is yours. Oh my gosh, Scorpio. Buddha bliss is yours. And Scorpio is often known for having such like deep, heavy, sometimes and volatile emotions because you feel so deeply. And when I see Scorpio of all the signs being the one to come into Buddha bliss, it's because you've mastered so many deep feelings and difficult experiences here, and because of that, like by overcoming that, you're the most peaceful one of all, Scorpio, and that's part of your superpowers. And so, first of all, congratulations, and then second of all, I just love like that we're coming back around to these deep channeled insights that I got at the very beginning of your reading about your ancestors and how like it talks here like deep, earthy, rooted tribal insights and wisdom. We're talking way back wisdom. So, and I know some of the cultures I mentioned are not tribal. Some of them are dynasties, but some of them, like going back to ancient Lemuria and, First Nations and things like that. And they, Australian Aboriginals as well. It really depends where you are watching this. You will know for you. But this is powerful confirmation of the channeled message about what's going on and what you're going to be. And I'm feeling a bit emotional, what you're going to be deeply exploring here and bringing forward as part of your gifting to humanity. And this is all possible because the Dark Order has now fallen. So, oh my, Scorpio. Please let me know in the comments how you resonated with this reading. Please like the reading. Please subscribe to the channel. I really, really need you to like the reading. I really need you to subscribe to the reading. It's really important to try and get these messages out there to as many people as possible. And in order to do that, I need you to like the reading and subscribe. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here. And I'm so excited to have you back again for more readings very soon. There's lots to come. Sending you so much love. Take care, Scorpio.